We're going flying. We're also going camping. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going biplane camping.
We were just kids, just limited, misfit, itinerant, outcasts, singing about the dissonance.
Clear props. And so the camping trip had officially begun. Now you may be asking yourself, how on earth are you supposed to go anywhere, let alone camping in that tiny little biplane? And that's a great question. You see, this airplane really is tiny, with almost no space for any luggage, let alone camping gear. But I did have one trick up my sleeve, and his name was Daniel, aka my younger brother. Being the older brother, I very much abused my seniority and forced Daniel to drive an entire truckload of gear/supplies to the airport in exchange for empty promises I would never keep. This not only put to bed all of my logistical nightmares, but also meant that because I now didn't have to haul anything in my airplane, I was able to have the best in-flight entertainment money can buy. But before I got too carried away, it was already time for me to begin my descent into Columbia Airport. This airport is situated in the mountains, at altitude, with stunning views all around. I could already tell that this was going to be one heck of a trip. Welcome to Columbia. We landed, got some fuel, met up with Daniel, Mr. Supply Truck. Yep. Thanks for driving. Now here's what's going down. We're basically going to be camping over there on the grass runway. I've personally never landed on grass, so I wanted to make it a moment, let it live on the internet forever. I've heard only good things, but I'm also a little worried that it could be a little bit bouncy. There's only one way to find out. We got Daniel to film it, me to fly it. Let's get to it. Although new to me, landing on grass is totally normal and oftentimes even preferred due to its soft and squishy properties, which make it very forgiving. And so with that in mind, and with everyone lined up and watching outside, I came in for the smoothest landing of my life. Or so I thought. You see, as I leveled off on final, I noticed these white cement pads on either side of the runway, which serve as boundary markers and help keep pilots aligned with the runway. However, because the grass grows above the pads, and I'm in a really tiny airplane, I was no longer able to see them once my wheels touched the ground. And so before I knew it, I drifted way over to the right side of the runway, and what was supposed to be my best landing turned out to be my bumpiest. But my pride wasn't the only thing damaged. All right, so just landed. Aftermath. Take a look. Paint chips, they weren't there this morning. I know because I cleaned it this morning. The airplane ain't always this clean. And a little crack going right here. Yep. There's nothing wrong with the wheel pant, but that's kind of what happens when you don't land perfectly centered. It's only 50 feet wide and you can't really see anything out the front, so.
Have to get better.
You know how it goes. And with that, folks, we were officially camping. Airplane camping, to be exact, which is honestly the best kind of camping. But we couldn't relax just yet. You see, it was getting late and we were losing daylight, so we quickly set up camp, secured the airplanes, and made our way over to explore the rest of the campground. We were just able to squeeze in a quick game of disc golf before getting called in for a scrumptious steak dinner, and we ended the day the only way that's proper, around the campfire. Good morning! It's pretty cool waking up to engine noise. That's pretty unique for me, especially in a tent. And also, you can hear people talking airplanes since like 5 a.m. in the morning, so that's always nice. Also, here's a little fun fact for you. We have the smallest airplane here, but the biggest tent. You gotta overcompensate when you can. Bringing two of my favorite things, airplanes and camping, together for the first time was proving to be an awesome experience overall. But what good is airplane camping without any flying? And so some of the pilots decided to head out in the morning in search of the perfect pancake breakfast. I personally chose to skip out on the pancakes, and don't worry, we'll get to do some of our own flying a little later, but in the meantime, there was a young man that I really wanted to meet.
That's cool.
When I was young and foolish, Actually, I was born at a very young age.
At a very young age.
Many of my friends own airplanes. I just wouldn't want one to marry my daughter.
Right. Meet Dave Baxter, a silly old man with a great sense of humor. But that's not all. You see, although Dave doesn't act the part, he's kind of a big deal around these parts, especially when it comes to Starduster, which is a kind of biplane. I first heard of Dave long before I actually met him, as the godfather of the Biplane forum. So you can imagine my complete surprise when Dave told me that he had actually watched some of my videos.
I was impressed by the video that you made when you bought your airplane in North Carolina.
North Carolina.
And you flew it to Mather Air Force Base in California across country with a cell phone.
Yeah.
And a bunch of batteries.
Yeah.
In my day, nobody thought you'd ever have color weather radar in a single cockpit airplane, for God's sake.
On a cell phone.
Or on a pad or...
Yeah. Exactly. All right, so that was Dave Baxter, and what Dave doesn't know is the FAA is actually coming over here right now to give him an award. It's like a 50 years prestigious award or something along those lines. We'll film it for you guys. I'm all cool with that, except it's the FAA. All right, how do you feel about the FAA coming up?
The FAA is kind of the theoretical nemesis of all pilots. I know they're there for us. I know they do good things, but
Speak the honest truth.
The honest truth, I feel the same way as I feel like CHP pulling up behind me on the freeway. I get nervous.
Exactly. All right, Phil, how do you feel about the FAA showing up?
I invited them. All the FAA guys are not bad. There's a lot of good FAA guys, and they're here to do something that is very important for the community, to acknowledge someone's effort to promote aviation and safety. So I think it's a good thing.
All right, now tell us what you really think.
That's what I really think.
All right, yeah. Personally, I'm not sure exactly how to feel. All I know is I don't know who owns this little red biplane. I never seen him, never heard of it. This is my first time seeing this airplane. And in the meantime, I'm gonna change it to some camo and hide in the bushes. And with that, it was time for the award ceremony. The FAA guys were here to officially present Dave with the prestigious Wright Brothers Master Pilot Award, and it was our privilege to bear witness. But who is Dave Baxter anyways, and what makes him so special? Well, for starters, Dave flew his open cockpit biplane all the way down from Oregon just to get to this fly-in at 80 years old. And if that's not enough for you, Dave actually built that airplane. In fact, Dave has built a total of 5 airplanes, all biplanes, and he's currently working on a 6th. Needless to say, Dave is extremely well known amongst the biplane community. He's even listed as a historian with the EAA. So really, this ceremony was just an excuse for everyone to get together and publicly thank Dave for everything he has done. Over the years, Dave has helped, coached, and mentored countless individuals, leaving a massive positive impact on the entire community. And for someone who spends so much time in the sky, Dave's still very down to earth, always eager to share his vast knowledge with the rest of us mere mortals, and for that, we are all very grateful. All right, now that that's done and the FAA guys are gone, it's time to go flying. Clear prop.
No, I'll do it over again. I know we got a bit of hesitation. Throw the fist to the wind. We might die trying, baby. We gon' go out right, yeah.
One of the best things about airplane camping is the airplanes. So it was nice to finally catch a break and go up with the boys to play in the wind, and boy was it windy.
We might die trying, baby. We gon' go out right, yeah.
The mountain air was seriously unstable, and we were getting tossed around like a bunch of rag dolls up there. With my brother Daniel filming handheld from the lead ship, it was tough to get any usable footage, let alone something great. This was also my very first time flying formation with any other biplane, let alone 2 birds of a feather. So although not ideal conditions for learning, with Mike taking the lead in the white Starduster and Tom in the blue, we managed to stay safe and stylish throughout the whole thing. And as an added bonus, every once in a while the stars would align and we would each record a couple seconds of stable formation flying into our logbooks.
Look at that.
Look at this.
Fetch!
Come here. Come here.
Wait, no, wait.
Come here. Come here.
That's crazy. He's gonna hit an airplane!
Don't run into my airplane.
Dang.
Well folks, that just about wraps up this video. From waking up next to your airplane, to going to sleep next to your airplane, this entire experience was definitely one for the books. The fly-in actually first originated on the Biplane forum, but was then opened up to pretty much anyone with an airplane to come out and have a good time all together, which honestly only made it that much better. Together we were able to meet new people, enjoy some delicious food, and even celebrate Dave Baxter receiving his Master Pilot Award at the same time. By the way, I have to come clean, the FAA guys were nothing but awesome the entire time they were there. Everything that I said/implied earlier was just in good fun. Now, as our last day here was slowly coming to an end, there was only one thing left to do. You see, that crazy deer wouldn't stop terrorizing the runway all day, and it was slowly making a mockery of our entire camp. So after a quick group huddle with the boys, we all agreed. Something had to be done. Now, if only there was one brave enough, a fearless cowboy, to mount his steed and teach that deer a thing or two about terrorizing. I think you all know where this is going.